We've been tracking what is happening around the nation, and we decided now that it's so important that we also make our contribution known. Just thank God the 10 days of protests, hunger strike, and the rest is over. But the reality is still on, and so far, most Nigerians are not yet seeing anything to show that the people in government have listened to understand the message of the people. And it's very difficult for them to really understand, because a senator, for example, that is receiving 30 million naira every month, allowance, this, and some dash here and there, and some committee money here and there, they will not understand what you are saying. They will not understand what you're saying. So, a House of Reps are going with 28 million every month, rather, with extra tips here and there, depending on the committee that he belongs to, will not really understand what Nigerians are going through. And it's a very sad situation when in a country where the minimum wage, thank God they just took it now to 70,000, when in a country where the minimum wage is 30,000, a senator is receiving 30 million. It's not only wicked, it's evil, it's satanic. And that kind of country does not exist except in Nigeria. That tells you the level of wickedness among our political class. They are receiving 30 million. That's why you see people fight and kill themselves to become to go into politics. They go to native doctors, they do human sacrifice. Most of the people do one or two sacrifice or the other. They do one thing or the other to see that they're able to win an election, because they know that immediately they get there, at least for the next 4 years, their suffering and that of their generation have been terribly reduced or cut off completely. So I will make some suggestions here, because we all see what is going on now, and we all are trying to make one or two suggestions that will move the nation forward. Now that the strike is over, what are the things that we need to put in place to ensure that this kind of thing does not happen again? Because we need to tell ourselves the truth. Now, both the government and those who organize the strike, they understand now the loopholes, the mistakes here and there. But I think the strike is even better that people are venting their anger, because a situation where people say nothing and they go back and begin to plan a rebellion against the state is more dangerous. It's much, much more dangerous. And that's the state that Nigerians are now. Because things are extremely expensive. We receive calls daily of people who cannot feed, people who are going through one thing or the other. And you begin to wonder, people with family, they don't see food to eat and the rest. These people are easily recruited. We are trying to fight insurgency in the north. And we are trying to create insurgency around the country. Because you can't tell people to manage hunger. It's not possible. This is not about any other. This protest is centered on hunger. And hunger, food is a basic necessity. The well-being of the people is the purpose of the government. And so no government has business to remain in power if they cannot meet the welfare of the people. It's only in this country that people don't resign. What is happening in Nigeria now, if it's the Western world, some people will have resigned completely because it's a shame, it's an embarrassment, it's a disgrace. In less than 1 year, the lives of most Nigerians have turned upside down completely, because of the government policies. We've been providing one or two solutions. We all know the problem, and we want to focus more on the solutions. And remember, for those who didn't listen the last time, one of the solutions which I advocated for was that each state should be viable, each state should be productive. There is no reason why the North cannot feed Africa. The North can feed the whole world. The North can feed Africa. Let's just say Africa, because they have land. They have land. I was amazed once when I saw that the land mass of Niger State alone is far, far bigger than the entire Southwest. The land mass of Niger State alone is far bigger. So they have a lot of land, a lot of arable land, a lot of productive land, a lot of land that they can use to farm. And so you begin to ask yourself, what is the problem? The biggest battle we have in the Middle East now between the Palestinians and the Israelis is land, over the issue of land. As rocky as the Jewish land is, they are able to feed themselves. As terrible as the land is, with the terrible situation that is going on there now, regular wars here and there with all the Iran proxies, the Hamas, the Hezbollah, Palestinian Jihad, and all other Iranian proxies that are in Iraq and the rest, which they call forces of resistance. The Jews still have time to grow what they use to feed themselves. There is no reason why Nigeria cannot feed himself. There is no reason. And it's very embarrassing that with so much land that God has given us, so much arable land, so much fertile land that anything can grow on the land, we are not using it. We are not using it because we have governors, as I said before, governors who don't know what they do. We have governors who are not sabi nothing. They ought not to be there in the first place. Most of these people we call governors. We focus a lot on the presidency. But what about the governors? What about the governors? These governors have no business there. And the process through which we get our elected officers into office, the process of electing people, we need to look on it. A situation where it is issue for the money back. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. As long as you have money, you can buy your way from the primaries. You buy away from the primaries and you get to the election, you can also buy your way. Somebody made a joke of recent and he said, INEC for sale, presidency for sale, governorship for sale. It's a joke, but it's a very expensive joke. It's trying to pass out a message that when you have money, you can buy your way into any position. And as long as you have this kind of people in government, you cannot make progress. Because the first thing they want to do is how to get back their money which they invested. They see Nigeria as an investment. They bring in their money, they invest in it, and they get from the treasury. And unfortunately, we have an electoral system that is sick. Except we address their electoral system. Except we make it impossible for INEC to be manipulated. Except we make it impossible for our elections to be rigged. Because there's no doubt about that. The Buhari government, the only good thing that wanted to come out of the Buhari government was the electoral reforms, where immediately you vote, the result will be sent immediately to the IROF, or what do they call it, and you get the result instantly. And now, if I want to advocate that we have an electoral system where the governorship, House of Assembly, Senate, all of them should be one day. It will prevent this rigging. It will prevent this massive rigging. So we vote for one day. We don't take months to vote. And at the end of the day, we saw what happened during the last election. That the whole thing was a mess up, complete mess up. And so we should be able to reduce. We should be able to reduce the burden on our judiciary. Because definitely we've also seen that our judiciary, it get as it be. Our judiciary don't get K-leg. You get K-leg, my brother. The judiciary get K-leg. We see that some of the judgments look strange. So strange. Some of the judgments makes you laugh. It's a laughable judgment. It's really a situation where you can go and get injunction here and there and do this and do this. We see that the whole thing is not a joke. The whole thing is a joke. The political system is corrupted. And the legislature is highly corrupted. We see what is going on there. There are some people there that are not even supposed to be there in the first place. I keep saying it. When you have a Senate where some of the leaders are saying that people can be rioting and he will be eating fat, that statement is enough for that person to be recalled. If actually he made that statement, he should be recalled from the National Assembly. If actually he made that statement, he should step down. It can't be in the leadership of the Senate because you are there to serve the people. And by the time you begin to mock the poor, just because you find yourself in a privileged situation, just because we find ourselves in a country where you can do anything and get away with it, and you still come and contest election, and nothing will happen, that does not mean that you begin to rub it in the face of the poor. That does not mean. And these are the things we are talking about. There's so much investment. And so what is the way out? I will tell you the way out. The National Assembly should be part and parcel. The payment, whatever money they are going to receive, should be subjected to the civil service mode of payment. They should be seen as civil servants. They should be paid according to what the civil servants earn. We are all human beings. There's nothing they are doing special. The National Assembly is not representing the people. We've not seen any bill that help the people. We've not seen nothing. Instead, it's a mockery of the poor that is coming out from the National Assembly. So as far as I'm concerned, they should be paid probably level 16 or whatever. It should be paid according to the civil service system. You shouldn't be paying somebody 29 million, 30 million for doing what? For doing what? Because we have already seen right from in this democratic setting, we have seen that the National Assembly seems to be part and parcel of the executive. They are under the control of the executive. They don't challenge the executive. The National Assembly during the Buhari regime, the Senate president made it very clear that the only thing they are here to do is to say yes to anything that Buhari does. He's a father. You know, so everything he said, everything he brought, they took it. That's how we borrowed and borrowed and borrowed and borrowed. Now we see what is happening. So for us to have competent people, most people that go for the National Assembly, it's not because they are competent. They are going there because of the money. They are going there because of the money they will receive. Once you're a senator, once you're a member of House of Rep, they know that you are rich for life. You're already a millionaire. And so we should kill that desire of money, money, money. Let it be for service, service, service. It's time we begin to get competent people. We have lecturers, we have doctors, we have professors, we have intelligent lawyers who can decide to say, okay, I want to subject myself. It's even a part-time business. It's not something they'll just go and say they are full-time work. We don't have full-time legislature, for goodness sake. What are they legislating for full-time? What are they doing? So we have people, they will be subjected to the civil service payment. They can still be having their job done, their service done. They already know the days of meeting. They will come there, they handle it. You see, because we should not deceive ourselves. We shouldn't be living the way the people were living in the 70s, the way the economy used to be in Gowon regime. It's not the way it used to be now. The economy is bad. We should tell ourselves the truth. And so we should make adjustments, reasonable adjustments. You keep telling the people, the citizens, to adjust their belt. Why you people are not adjusting your belt? You are making so much money. People are dying to be there. See cars. How can you begin to give 400 and something billion for cars for National Assembly? Most of the people we have there are governors who have served 2 terms already. This National Assembly is now becoming a retired home for governors who have even failed woefully, governors who did nothing in their time. They go to the National Assembly to sleep. It's now home for retired men, retired retired governors, retired this, party officials, those who they want to compensate. They now use the National Assembly to compensate people in politics. It is not because they are active. It's not because they know what they are doing. Check their track record. These guys have made so much money when they are governors. Governors for 2 terms. Some of them have even worked in NDDC. And we have stories on stories and stories. Some of them have issues with NDDC, issues with EFCC, and allegation of fraud in the EFCC. They are all there. They are all there. And these people are people you are still giving money to buy Jeep. Don't they have cars? They have cars. It is sacrifice. Can't they use their cars? Can't they use their car? So the entire National Assembly, from the House of Assembly in each state down to the Senate, the House of Rep to the Senate, they should be paid according to the civil service level. And those who cannot should leave. There are those who are prepared to make sacrifice. Let intelligent men, when you begin to see some National Assembly, go to the UK, for example, look at their own version of National Assembly there. And when you hear them discuss issues, go to America, for example. When you go to their House of Rep and the Senate, and you hear them discuss issues, you will just pity our country, because the kind of people we have there are not supposed to be there. They are not qualified to be there, for goodness sake. Let's address the issue. Let's not continue to treat the symptoms. Let there be a bold reform. President Tinubu, I keep saying again and again, the president is not a poor man. The money that he has now, his children will not finish it. He's not taking the money anywhere. The only thing he can do now is to make a legacy for himself. If I was President Tinubu, I don't mind even if it is 1 term. I will build a new Nigeria with things in place, things to make it work. We can't succeed with this kind of National Assembly. These men are there for money. Their purpose of getting there is money. Money, money, money. As long as we keep having this kind of National Assembly, they will be under the control of the president. The presidency will continue to manipulate the National Assembly. And now it is Tinubu. One day somebody else will come. Look at what happened during we will not have had this kind of debt we are holding if we have a functional assembly. What did it have? It's a rubber stamp assembly. Everything about that previous government, the Buhari government, is crazy. Everything about the government is sick. It's completely sick. The National Assembly then is just sick. Anything they bring, they borrow. That's how they borrow the country dry. And these same people are still in the leaders of that assembly are still in the Senate. They found themselves, and you see the condition to which they came to the Senate. You will be amazed. You will be amazed. You ask yourself, what kind of country is this? You contest for presidency, you fail, you still went back to Senate. You understand? And so we should get things right. People are saying it. We are becoming a laughing stock. We should be able, if democracy does not favor us, let's think of something else. The military has failed. Democracy is even worse than the military regime now. Democracy is very uninteresting to many Nigerians. To many Nigerians, most of the youth today were born during the era of democracy, and so far they've seen failure from one failed leader to the other, one failed leader to the other. And the most painful part of it is that every successive leader that comes gets worse than the other, worse than the other. The only time we have what looked like a democracy was during Jonathan's regime. We can't talk much about Yar'Adua's regime because it didn't stay long. That may God bless his soul. That's a man of compassion. Yar'Adua is a man of compassion. You know, that man will have changed this country. I don't know what is going on. I don't know why bad people last and good people don't last. You know, I still don't understand why. I don't know who plays this curse on Nigeria, that bad people will continue to last and good people will not last. Yar'Adua was a good man, was a good soul, was a good leader, was a compassionate leader. Yar'Adua is the only leader that reduced fuel pump. Reduced the price of fuel pump. Immediately got in. He said, no, this country, people are suffering. Let me help them. And energy is our major issue. Once you reduce energy, you have removed suffering. Once you reduce the cost of energy, you have eliminated 50% of poverty. Nigerians know what to do. It is not as if they don't know what to do. You know, but the environment is faulty. The environment is faulty. Things are too expensive. Energy is expensive. Look at PHCN. You buy 10,000 megawatt. They tell you that you are in a band A. They are giving about 40 units. 40 units for 10,000 megawatt. So at the end of the day, you discover that before you know what is happening, in 2-3 days it's gone. Which kind of company, which kind of business can survive with that kind of system? Which kind? Then it's okay, let me focus on fuel. Let me focus on fuel. Let me power my gen with fuel. They tell you the amount for diesel, they tell you the amount for fuel, you'll be amazed. How can a company survive buying fuel for 800 naira, 1,000 naira? How can they survive? How can the company make it? So we have companies now, retrenchment is going on a daily basis. We have companies now that is going down. The trade businesses are going down. People are being retrenched. You know, entrepreneurs are being, they now reduce their staff strength. And before you know what is happening, we are having this crisis. These are the crises that we are having. Unemployment is increasing because the cost of production is alarming. I saw on the daily 2 days ago when they were saying, one of the dailies was saying, for the past 24 years, 102 big companies have left this country. We're not talking about the small ones that are packed up. They have left this country. You ask yourself, where is the staff? Where is the staff of those companies? Where discover there is nothing. The people will just go and punish. We hear of these things, but we don't see the result. We don't see the result. We don't see the outcome. The outcome of it is not seen. It's not seen. So please and please and please, we should address fundamental issues, not palliative. Do something reasonable, President Tinubu. You are not a young man. You are closer to where you are going than where you are coming from. You are closer, so you are not a young man. So do something that will change the life of Nigerians. Do something that make people say this is the father of Nigeria. That thing which Awolowo wanted to do, which he was not allowed to do, you have the privilege and the opportunity to do it now. That thing that what is his name wants to lifestyle. Bring policies from the National Assembly. Let there be a change. The governorship area, as I said before, let each state be viable. Any state that is not viable should be sold. They should declare bankruptcy. Let another state buy them over. We are tired of having states where the governor will just go to Abuja every month to collect money. This has stopped them from thinking. Let there be no handout to any state anymore. Let the states begin to contribute. Any state that cannot contribute to the federal, then that state, every state should handle its resources. Every state should handle their own personal resources. And any state that cannot handle it, cannot produce anything, should merge, should be sold. And the National Assembly should be part-time. Let it be civil servants. Civil servants, as members of the National Assembly, they will do far, far better. We cannot be paying millions and millions to people that are not doing anything. There is nothing that they are doing in the Senate. There is nothing that they are doing in the House of Representatives. Nothing. Nigerians are not seeing anything. Instead, what we are seeing is money being shared on a daily basis. Money being shared on a daily basis. They go there to collect money. The governors go and collect. It's just money, money, money. They are sharing the money at the center. People are not seeing them at the bottom. We are not seeing it. It's not reflecting. It's not reflecting. This is not a government of the people. This is a government of politicians. This is a government to feed the political class. Until we meet again, probably in the evening, I want to say, please stay blessed and let the governor, let the president, let's make it go viral. Let the president see these things. It will help our nation because it's time for Nigeria to move forward. It is time. But some things must be taken care of. Until we meet again, please stay blessed. Stay out of riot. Don't protest. Don't carry another nation's flag here. We don't want it. Please, every nation has their challenges. Let's provide these challenges. I've provided two major challenges now. The National Assembly should be part-time. Civil servants should run it. And the governors should be productive. Any state that is not productive, sell it. Let it declare bankruptcy. Let another state buy it. Thank you. We'll meet again in the evening. Same time. 8 o'clock.